Never.
These are adult toys.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, we are live. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I am Chris. I am referred to as Christopher Michael, and I am the lead guitarist for Nova Omega.
And I'm Kyle. I'm referred to as Kyle. And I'm the lead vocalist for Nova Omega.
So the question that everybody always wants to know, how did you get the name?
So basically, and this was years ago, so memory's a little foggy, but basically, this is what happened. So I went and we were talking about band names at the time because we had a previous band name called Full Des, and we wanted to change it up because we changed up a lot of the lineup and it just wouldn't make any sense playing different kind of music. So everyone was at this guy's, his name's Jonathan DeCarte. He's super chill, by the way. And he was where we used to have our practice space. And he was like super awesome, and we would have our own little practice space. It was this building that was soundproofed, everything. And we were there, and then everybody was talking about the band name, and I went in my car because I had to go to work. And I was on my way to work, and somebody, one of them had called me and said, "Hey, well, we think, what about Nova?" And I just basically was just like, "Well, what about Nova Omega?" And then it just kind of came from there.
And I think it kind of basically, from what I understand and from what I know from words, which, I don't know as much about this much, but it basically is like, Nova is kind of about like supernova, like the ending, like ending of a star or something like that. And Omega, or no, and it's the rebirth of a star. And then Omega is like the end. So it's like the end of the beginning, or kind of like a rebirth. It's kind of the idea, right?
Yeah.
But isn't it based out of Latin? It's a Latin word.
Yeah. Well, one of them's Latin and one of them's Greek, right?
Yeah.
Nova is Latin.
Latin, Omega is Greek.
Omega is Greek.
Yeah, so we're all sophisticated.
That word.
Yeah.
Can none of you speak Latin or Greek?
Not a lick of it.
No.
We just wanted to be sophisticated. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I had no part in the name choice, actually, so I shouldn't even speak.
Well, I mean, we talked to him about it. We talked to you about it. About them.
Yeah.
This is pre-Kyle.
Yeah, pre-Kyle.
Pre-Kyle. Yeah, we basically denote periods of time based on who's in the band. Yeah, pre-Kyle, post-Kyle, and those are the 2 time periods we have right now.
Stay tuned for more.
Yeah,
okay.
Post-Kyle. Right now we're.
So they already are planning on kicking me out of the band if you come.
Well, what I mean by post is post-Kyle.
No, I know.
After Kyle joined the band.
I got you. I'm messing with you.
All right, so I'm going to throw you a fun question here.
All right, shoot.
If you could be any cereal, what cereal would you be?
Oh, I thought we were going to go with any serial killer. And I was like,
You were like,
I'm like, whoa, that's intense.
What one would that be? Cereal.
I would definitely be Honey Bunches of Oats.
Why would you be that? Is it because you're basic?
Honey Bunches of Oats isn't basic.
Well, I mean, it's an older cereal. that's been around for a while, so people would consider it basic.
With
Like,
almonds. Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds.
that's really good cereal.
See, now I'm not basic. Now I'm
Yeah, now you're
I'm a
bougie.
nut. Now I'm a nut.
Yeah, nutty
Now you're
pie.
just a white girl that likes almonds.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
exactly. See.
Now you're just a white girl that likes almonds. You're the almond mom.
Next thing you know, he's gonna start cutting bacon with scissors.
Who says I don't do that already?
It's like that's kind of my thing, man. know.
Have you ever tried it?
Yeah.
Don't judge it until you try it.
I
I like everybody says if you're making like waffles out of a toaster, like I'm ripping up with my hands. I'm not cutting that with a fork and knife. Like
I think it's more satisfying just to rip it than freaking take a pair of scissors to anything.
that's true. Definitely more satisfying.
I just stick the fork in and just start
Yeah,
taking
just
big
eat the
bites
whole
out of it.
thing
Yeah.
at once.
Yeah.
Like you get like syrup and everything all over your face. You just
Yeah. Yeah.
man, that takes
Well,
practice.
Yeah. To get good at it.
As for me, I would say, man, that's hard because I am a super cereal eater. I love cereal. It's like one of my favorite fucking things. I eat cereal almost every day.
They have like, if you look at their house, they have like 10, we're talking about like Costco size bags of cereal.
There's always at least 4 flavors opened at the same time. I'm also ADHD, so I've got to have at least like, because I'll get bored of a flavor and then I'll be like, okay, I want Reese's Puff now. So it's like hard because you know what? I would say I'm Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
He's just so sweet.
I am dynamic.
Dynamic.
Because I got the flavor and the crunch profile, but it's like it's different than normal crunch profiles.
Wow,
Because
you really thought this through.
oh, I did. Because when you choose Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's the consistency specific to Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You have the basic stuff like the puff
Like
type
me.
cereal. Well,
Jerk.
you have that. You're like the cornflake guy.
Oh my gosh.
So you got the cornflake guy, and then you've got the Cinnamon Toast Crunch consistency, and then you have like the puff cereals like Reese's Puffs and Cocoa Puffs. But I'd say I'm a Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy myself.
The milk washes the cinnamon toast off of it. And it all ends up in the bottom of the bowl. So you get a big spoonful of
Cinnamon and sugar. That's the best part.
You don't taste it.
No,
I don't know if you
don't
know-
taste it. You don't taste cinnamon.
Come over here, JJ. Say
That's
hi.
supposed to be in this. Bye, guys.
Hi.
Shut the fuck up.
Why was he not supposed to be in this?
No, he was supposed to be in it. And then he said he's working. And then he was like, and then we wanted him to be in it, but then we were doing like these like AirPod things. There's only 2 of them, and so he couldn't hear
Oh,
you.
okay.
And it just, yeah,
It didn't work out. Okay.
it didn't work out.
Yeah, it's just audio.
I mean, there's also the fact that like, we don't know what he's gonna say. He's kind of a,
yeah,
who knows? Like
he
could
says
just,
a lot of stupid shit.
he could just go off on anything, and
And listen,
he's giving me thumbs up.
yeah,
Just so you know.
I know my dad better than anybody. He's just gonna come on and say dumb shit.
Oh, okay.
So that's the cereal.
But no, he's actually trying to hook up the. We have a workout room in that apartment now, so we can work out at home. And he's trying to set up the fucking TV. Something was wrong with the TV where, yeah, it's on. So Walmart. Yeah, Walmart makes garbage most of the time. Some things are really good, but TVs are not. And it was like stuck on this like. Had a picture of a camera and it was stuck on that screen and you couldn't do anything with the controls or anything, so you had to like figure out how to reset it. But that's basically that.
I'm the ghost in the darkness, buddy. I command, I devour, I fuck shit up, and I leave.
So where are you guys going to be playing soon?
The Rooster Olympics.
Yeah, that's the next show.
The Rooster in Gastonia.
25th.
2 stages, 15 bands.
Just have like the whole thing memorized. Like,
I'm curious how much I know.
Why can't Little R42 in that warehouse? I'm Elhead is why can't warehouse in 40 and I don't know.
Benefiting the Webb Street School.
There you go. See, now you need to have like
Okay.
you need the ad.
Come on down.
So who's on that bill with you?
Okay, so we're gonna test my knowledge here.
Yeah.
So scars remain, 50 flies, head trip trauma,
Dove Cage is doing
Dove
good.
Cage, of course. There's, come on,
it's hard.
I
to
need some
remember.
help.
I'm horrible.
There's like 15 bands.
Yeah.
There's of course, To Begin Anew, and Neighborhood Alien, Sleepless in Denver, Shallow Signals. Oh, sweet. Lords and Liars, I believe. Sunbreak. And there's a couple other ones that I can't pronounce.
Crazy how good your memory just got.
Yeah, all of a sudden it just came to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah,
Maybe he's holding it above your head, but
that's just me.
See,
That's
that
just me like
shadow-
thinking.
That shadow is actually my hand.
That's just
has
me
been up
thinking.
here
Like I'm
this,
just like
see?
looking up, like meditating. or
Because
something
we have a
like that.
light over there, so my hand has been up like this.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that, it looks like a phone, but it's really not. It's just my hand. It's
Yeah.
just off camera.
oh,
You know, but
okay.
there's some awesome bands. I mean, there's some bands on here that we haven't played with. I'm stoked to play with them. And I'm from the '90s. I am from the '90s.
Stoked, Radical,
I don't say radical. I say
Groovy. Well, that's
I don't
more of an
say
older
groovy.
version.
Okay, so
That is
so
not-
you say
More of an older
so you say you're from the 90s, 91, 92, or
I
actually
actually lied. I'm from the '80s.
Well, okay. You grew up in the 90s.
I'm from
though.
okay, 1987. So I grew up in the '90s.
Yeah, you
How about
grew
that?
up in the-
Okay.
born in the
Yeah.
80s, grew up in the 90s. That's how I mean.
Yeah. That's how I roll.
I'm technically a 90s kid, but I don't identify as one. I'm 99, so I'm a 2000s millennial. But the thing is, see, there's like this clash of the concept of what generation and when it starts. And one of them is like it ends in 1996, and then there's this other argument that it's a millennial, so it doesn't end until
Yeah,
the
but
2000s.
but here's the thing. Yes, you were born in 99, but you know about the 80s. You know about the 90s.
Yeah, I know about it because like like reruns of old shows were still going on when I was a kid. So like I knew a lot of stuff, and plus my parents and everything. So I definitely know a lot more than probably someone born in the 2000s does about the 90s, especially about the weird, very bright colors and the really weird music. With you had what was it? What's the name of that band? Yeah, Primus, and then Butthole Surfers, and then
It's a band.
yeah, he doesn't even know about it. Yes.
Jesus built my hot rod.
Yeah, Jesus built my
Nice.
hot rod. That's another one. And then you had the doo-wop kids. Doo-wop. There's a lot of like just unique music that came out of that time because that
So
yeah.
so you're stating Hanson, Butthole Surfers, Primus. So those were the three. Well, you didn't. You said Umbop
Well,
kids, but
I am trying to not name all of the grunge bands because they're all
Yeah, I got-
Alice in Chains and all of them.
And I
Temple
grew
of
up
the Dogs.
Temple of the Dogs, and of course, like I grew up, anything with Kurt. I grew up with Kurt Cobain and
Yeah,
Nirvana and Chris Cornell and Creed and Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, well, because grunge is like interesting because it kind of like starts in the 90s and it kind of overflows into the
Everything.
earlier 2000s.
I feel like yeah.
yeah,
I feel like the '90s was kind of like the entire music scene, like kind of figuring things out, and then you still see elements of the '90s today.
yeah.
You see elements of
But
everything today, but
Because you got one band who started kind of not exactly deathcore, but that's
You need to come closer if you're going to talk.
Yeah.
You need to- they can't hear you.
And the,
in the '90s. You had Pantera.
Yeah, exactly.
Started the modern music that we're hearing today.
well,
Yeah.
they're a big part of it. Yeah.
I
But
mean,
yeah, there was some weird shit. Like 90s was definitely like, okay, 80s was way too hair metal, way too much 80s pop. We're just gonna like do the opposite of that. Like the 90s was like rebellious in that way of just like whatever they did before, we're not gonna do that now. We're gonna try to get away from that in some weird, but create some weird like, what's the word for it? Gimmick with it. Like,
So,
the
I mean,
Doo-Wop kids, like they,
Like if you had to put your band in a melting pot, how would you describe your band to somebody that's never heard
that's a great question. How would we describe our band? Like the sound,
the sound, the what do you call it? The
genre,
energy, the stage
energy, the
show.
vibe?
I would say that it mixes the old with the new.
Because obviously, like we have like with Chris and JJ and the guitar, there's a lot of old influence, I would say, in your guys' songwriting, that carries some of that older metal vibe. Not you also have some modern metal elements too, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
and then you got me, and I'm kind of a modern rock pop. I don't know what I am. And then so I feel like you're kind of mixing old and new. So you have a lot of I think if you listen to us, some of it sounds older than modern metal. Like some of the things we're doing sounds like more old school, but that also has that new like pop, a little bit of that pop polish and some of that like post grunge modern rock element to it with some EDM.
Yeah, because I'm also like my influences too aren't just like metal. I kind of listen to everything. Like I like Whitney Houston and Cypress Hill and pretty much most forms of music, even country. Like I love Conway Twitty,
You do have a little
Okay, so
Glenn Campbell.
so real country. Okay.
I mean, I'll get some Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
big Williams, too.
Yeah, I like some
Oh.
old school country.
Yeah, I love bluegrass.
Oh yeah,
Bluegrass is fun.
there's some good bluegrass too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but what would you say? Is that anything else you'd add to our sound?
No, I think it's a pretty accurate description of, like mixing old elements. There's like some 80s influence and some 90s, and then you also have like some influences from like especially like earlier like some earlier like metalcore like Shadows Falls, back in those days. Because like the big influences of me is like like All That Remains, Shadows Falls, Nevermore. Nevermore is like probably my biggest influence above everything. But also there's a lot of there's even a little power metal in there. I love Symphony X.
And there's just a random cat.
His name's Badass, by the way. Legit, his name is Badass. That's what we call him. Because he's fat and he's lazy and he doesn't like to really
I don't know if that's enduring or an insult, but I mean,
No. See,
It's an enduring term.
Well, see, calling him fat ass is more of an observation.
That's
He's-
more of an
he's just
observation.
fat.
I-
It's a description. It's a description of
so you're just calling things how you see it. Okay.
basically. I mean, he's a fat ass. He has a fat ass. He's a fat cat.
He looks like silly putty dropped on the floor when he lays down and it just kind of goes. Bleh.
Yeah, he kind of looks like if you had like bags of milk from Canada. Like he kind of looks like that when he lays down.
Bags of milk.
Bags of milk.
Yes,
bags
the-
of milk from Canada.
I've never seen it firsthand, but they do have bags of milk instead of cartons.
Interesting.
Depends on where part of
In
Canada you're from. That's what
Toronto.
they do.
Around Toronto is
Oh.
the area that they do that, I believe. But yeah,
I
he's an awesome cat.
I would scare to puncture a hole and gonna just have
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like it's the logistics of that are like terrible. Like, oh wow, oh no, I carry a pile of pin needles with me, and now my milk is.
Well,
I mean,
I
like
don't-
you can't
Well,
cry
it's
over
funny
it though.
you can't cry over the spilled milk.
No.
well, it still
Or-
spills. It still
But you
spills.
still
It has
ca-
a
but you
it
still-
has a little like thing. Well, you don't stack it. It maybe it just like that's another thing. Like, why would they? Why? Like, it just seems just to have only downsides and no upsides because it's still plastic. So it's like you
Yeah.
can't say it's like, oh, well, this is like environmentally friendly. I mean, it's plastic. It's still terrible.
Well,
Like,
what's interesting is like
go
so-
cardboard.
So I spent a lot of time in Thailand before moving here, and they actually do something very similar. Like you go get like boba tea, like because boba tea is really big over there right now, and you'll see people on scooters and they have these bags
Yeah,
just
I've
hanging
seen
off the
that.
side, just with boba tea, just chilling in it. So
Freaking Thailand.
it, I kind of got used to it. I kind of missed the boba, the boba tea.
All the freaking monkeys running around.
Yeah, and the elephants.
That's
The
crazy.
elephants. Sick.
So if you had
No, they're really nice.
Yeah, except you know how bad it is.
They're not African elephants. They're like smaller.
Still, I wouldn't want to hit one of those cars.
Oh, you-
Yours is bad enough, man. Those things hit you.
No, yeah, you wouldn't want to hit them.
Damage.
I literally have footage of me like driving down the road and there's like people riding elephants past me.
I mean that's pretty cool.
It's just their main like form of transportation.
Not their main form, but
Like they got like bus stops with like fucking elephants and shit. It's just like, all right, that'll be like $20. It's like, dude, I gotta get to work. Like, hurry up. It's like my elephant's tired, man. I can't do anything about it. I can imagine it would create a lot of problems.
Especially in the roadway.
So if you guys were stranded on a desert island, you could only bring 3 CDs with you. Of course, you're gonna have a boombox. What 3 CDs would they be?
Never by Nevermore. Fall of Ideals by All That Remains. And see, I like pop music, but I don't know the names of the album. And normally with pop music, I don't listen to the entire album. Well, unfortunately, it tends to sound the same. So I just pick out the best song from it. But so I guess like my third album would probably be ooh, that's tough.
while you think on it, I'll throw out a couple. Marching in Time by Tremonti. And I would probably do Memento Mori by Flyleaf.
Is that their first album?
No, that is their. I think it's their second. So the first one, I think. Yeah, it's not the first one. It's the second one, I believe. It's the one that has like 16 tracks on it. But
Man, I think my last one. Did I say The War Within by Shadows Falls?
No, but you just did now.
Yep, those are the
There
three.
you
If I was stuck in a desert island, like every song on every one of those albums is an absolute banger. Like I could listen to the whole album through and through and through over and over.
Okay, as a patron, not as playing, as a patron, are you there for the openers or you're only there for the headliner?
That depends, because if you're, so you got to work the next day, you don't have a lot of time, like, you go and see what you can. But if you're just like you have a whole day, if I have a whole day off and I want to go to see some bands, I'm going to the opener. Yeah, honestly, that's
sometimes I've had it with it. I prefer the openers.
Yeah,
sometimes.
especially because like there's less people, so there's more availability, and usually the opening bands are, like more starting out a lot of times, so they are super open and chill to like talk to, and you can come up to them and interact with them.
That's how I found Shadows Falls. They opened at Ozfest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like blown away.
Yeah.
By them.
But I like spent so many years of my life not being able to be in any music scene, And so for me, it's like anytime I go to a show, I want to get as much of it as I can. So I go to every single band.
Yeah.
So
I'm there at 7 o'clock. I don't leave until everything is over.
How do you get the most bang for your buck too?
Well, for some time before I even started this 6 years ago, I met new bands that I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Or hung out with like I hung out with Blindside. They opened up for Hoobastank and they were better than Hoobastank. Like, you never know.
yeah,
Well, for me, it's more the fact of I paid the money I'm seeing the entire show.
Yeah, I mean, they're bang
Yep.
for the buck. More bands.
I mean, the only way that's not a thing is like if I depends on where the venue is and whatever the case may be, and I have to, it's 2.5 hours home or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave a couple minutes earlier just to get out of the venue.
yeah,
Especially like when I saw Slipknot, that was I think they were a headliner though, so I couldn't do that, but I wish I was able to because the traffic was absolutely horrendous.
yeah.
It took at least it took probably about 45 minutes just to get out of there. It was bad.
And I think that's part of, even for me, like, if I could, I would stay for every single band. Part of the problem is I live in Johnson City, Tennessee. And so most of the shows we do, like, it's a 2-3 hour drive home for me sometimes.
But I'm saying as long as one of you stays to, to represent the band, I don't see that a problem if a member has to leave because it's 2 hours, 3 hours away.
Yeah,
But at least one of you are there, not just pack up and bounce.
totally. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's, a little rude. Like,
Well, yeah, you're not supporting your local music scene. You're not,
I mean,
it is a community, and it is a community. It's a family, and it's everyone. I see. You see a lot of this. You get to kind of become a group, and these become like your people. And
well, not even that. It's it's the promoters and everybody else. They might not book you again.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're done here. Can we have our money and bounce? It's not how that really should
leaving
work.
right after your show is definitely a big
no, that's terrible.
like, all right, guys, we're backing up.
No, I
6:45, but we're gonna head out.
no, I've seen it happen firsthand. Like, it's not.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah. No, we always try to stay as long as we possibly can, for sure.
When you are playing a show, do you go to your merch table after you're done?
Yeah. We want to connect with fans and want to connect with people, and I think that's the best place for them to know where you're going to be. So I think that usually with the way we do it, at least, we have a couple of us that are always at the merch table, and then the rest of us are just either in watching the show or just talking with people, and yeah.
And we cycle off, so nobody's at the merch table
like the entire night,
sitting in one place.
Yeah. By the way, my third album would be "Songs About Jane" by Maroon 5, and I'm proud to say that.
What?
"Songs About Jane." This is one of their first albums. It was before they became all pop disco. Yeah, and she will be loved. It's a great album. It's funky. Yeah, Hard to Breathe. That is fire. Yeah, it's Motown.
I like maybe 3 songs on there.
So are you gonna go see? Are you gonna go see them?
Listen to over and over.
They're touring by you. Are you gonna go see them?
Maroon 5 is?
Yeah, they're touring by you. You're gonna go see them this summer?
I want to, but I probably won't.
Yeah.
You know, just because. Yeah, exactly.
No, Groupon $25, buddy boy.
25.
Really?
$25.
Where are they? Okay, well, maybe.
Where are they coming to? I don't-
I don't have the dates in front of me. I'm not going, but I just know I have to know where all the concerts are, and so I can
Yeah.
tell you guys.
Well,
I know
heck
they're
yeah.
playing. I know they're playing in PNC Arts Center in
Charlotte.
I'm in New Jersey. They're playing that PNC Arts Center. They're playing the one that I'm shouting her out. Missy Wood works at. I think it's in Charlotte. I'm not sure. One of the PNC Arts Centers that are in your area.
Well, I'm definitely gonna look it up. I'm definitely gonna look it up because yeah, I would. I mean, if I can get in for $25, yeah, heck yeah, I'd do that.
That's pretty damn cheap.
Most of them.
So here's the thing: people don't realize you don't go to. I mean, Groupon has massive concert tickets. Always, not everything. Not everything. I'll be honest, not everything, but any of the amphitheaters is $25
Yeah.
or
Okay.
$20. Like I'm gonna go see Alanis Morissette and Joan Jett for 25. And I got, what do you call it? Hailstorm, I Prevail, Hollywood Undead, and I think Fit for a King for $25.
Yeah,
That's
cheap.
great. Yeah,
Like,
okay.
nobody
I haven't
know-
been
nobody
on
ch-
Groupon in years, so I have to check that out.
All you do is type concert. It's gonna be, your locator is already gonna be on your phone anyway. It's gonna
Yeah.
give you a list of that's on there. Manson's on there. Yeah, Manson's on there with Five Finger. What do you call it? Rob Zombies with Alice Cooper. Everybody's sleeping on
Hmm.
Groupon right now. They go to Ticketmaster right away or Live Nation right away.
I think
Groupon.
I think that's good to know because, like, for me, I was because when my first year that I moved to Tennessee, I went and saw like 4 or 5 different like pretty big shows, and I was like basically told, and bunch of stuff I saw online basically said like always buy from the source because you could get ripped off and you could pay money for nothing for a ticket that's not real. And so I think that's been my mindset from then on. It's just like, okay, I'm just going to go to the source, buy the ticket
No,
directly from there. But
realistically, and people sleep on this too, and you can, what do you call it, vouch for this. If you're an opening band, say you know that, what do you call it, say you're opening up for Puddle of Mud, because I know they're always, well, who knows now what's going on with that.
After the whole about a girl cover.
I'm just saying in general, like, if you're opening up for Puddle of Mud, I'm getting the ticket through you. It's pay to play.
Yeah.
It's fucking pay to play half the time.
Oh no, like
It is
80% of
paid
the
to.
time.
All right, 80%. It's pay to freaking play.
It is.
You don't sell that 50. If you don't sell your 50 tickets, you're buying the 50 tickets. That's coming out of your ass anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been
Facts.
telling
Spitting
people.
facts.
I've been telling people. Find out who the openers are.
I think that's great. Absolutely.
That's good advice.
Yep.
Because honestly, you're helping the openers.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the openers get stuck with the bill.
Yeah.
The
The big
national
bands don't get stuck with the bill.
No,
the national acts are covered.
Yeah.
They are covered.
They get a guarantee.
Anyway, from Sunday, they're covered.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. I'm not really a merch guy, okay? Like, I support in other ways, but I'm not a merch person. I'm a minimalist. I don't need an extra hat. I don't need an extra button, pin. When I die, I can't take that shit with me. But
We got something for you though.
Yeah.
but I'm just saying in general that you want to see them at the next stop, buy their merch. All their money comes from merch alone.
Like
Merch.
Openers Local, right? You're talking about?
No, I'm just saying in general. Yeah, the
Yeah.
locals or even the nationals. I mean, in general, if you like their stuff, buy their merch. That's their gas money to go to the next spot.
No, it literally
And
is.
and and people don't realize it is very expensive to tour. Very expensive to tour. So, I mean, as a concert goer, like I go about maybe 36 a year, maybe more than that, depends on what's coming through my area.
Yeah.
Like I say trans-state, okay? I'm New Jersey, New York, what do you call it? Pennsylvania. I go, the farthest I go out right now is 2.5 hours away
Gotcha.
because of travel, and I have my spots that I like going to and spots I don't like going to, as we all do.
Mhm.
I get it that people are pissed that they're not coming to New Jersey. I get it that they're not coming to go the extra mile. You want to see a certain band, drive an hour away. It's not going to really kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people just wait till like something's, right down the road, like their local town, local city, or whatever is about as far as most people will go for whatever reason. I mean, like Asheville, we're blessed with a very good music scene, so we get a lot of people that come through here, especially like you got Grey Eagle, uh, the Orange Peel. Um, there's tons of music.
The
Then,
odd.
then if you go the other way, you have, what do you call it? The Carolinas, the Virginias, everything. If you go the
Yeah.
other way, it's music central. You can go that.
Yeah, you got Nashville, then you got Charlotte, Raleigh.
That's what I'm saying. In your direction, you can go left, right, whatever the case may be. There is a music scene there.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
And how many tour? I mean, and I've looked, and I look up and down. All right, well, they're not hitting this. They're not hitting Jersey. Okay, well, they're hitting New York. They're hitting North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so many. Like I'm gonna get into a bigger topic with that on a later date, but like they don't understand why you can't be where they are. Travel, gas prices, the wear on tear on the vehicle, the wear on tear on you.
Totally. I mean, you look at some of these bands, these national bands. Look at some of their tour dates. Some of them are like day after day after day, like one day after the next after the next.
But and honestly, some don't make sense at all either.
Yeah.
Like I've looked. Why are you hitting? Say you're in New Jersey. You're gonna hit Camden, then you're gonna go to Pennsylvania, then you're gonna go back. You're going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
You should have done Camden, have an off day, do Homedale the next day, or vice versa. Camden, okay, well you're playing Philly, Camden, off day, Philly. So
yeah,
like space them that, what do you call it? There's an off day, and then it's travel, and oh, I want to take a photo. Like there's. And I know it doesn't always work that way, but and I came to realize there's a lot of Monday shows coming up now.
that's interesting.
Have you realized that?
No, I haven't noticed that.
No.
Yeah, there's been a lot of starting to pop up with a lot of Monday shows.
Wonder why that is.
Yeah, it seems like a rough day.
Just timing.
Oh, well, yeah. There's the other factor is like you have to book with all these different venues. You know, when you're on this tour, there's a lot of logistics that comes into all of that.
Oh yeah, moving stuff, moving people,
Yeah.
moving other things, food.
And that's something like we want to be doing like a tri-state tour. Like we're recording an album right now, and after that we want to do a tri-state tour. So yeah, no, but there's gonna be a lot of logistics with that.
Yeah, Waffle House is definitely our go-to place after a show.
It's true.
We
So you want
almost
to play?
always
So
go.
you want to play at a Waffle House?
No, I'm just saying like after. But I mean, if they reached out and they said, "We want you guys."
If we got sponsored by Waffle House,
Yes.
we're up on stage rocking now. We got
Dude, I
Waffle
would
House
have
shirts,
waffle
you know.
merch all over.
You know what? I mean, that might happen. That could happen.
It could. We are. Have you seen? There is a video of somebody who probably not endorsed by the company, but they brought in all their band equipment and they played a show at a Waffle House. It's been done.
I mean, Denny's has been done too.
Yeah, there's ways. There's ways. I'm sure if I got into some contact with a couple servers and then the manager, maybe we could swing it. You know, playing at a local Waffle House. Probably wouldn't get away with a very long show, but we could try. It's the
So you
fun.
said that. So you said you're working on a new record. EP. Is it going to be straight EP or is it going to be a full length?
It's gonna be a full length album. So we're on track to record. So we've already recorded 2 singles. Please Stand By, and then we just released Castle a couple weeks ago, and then we're going to release a couple more songs, 2 more, and then after that we're going to work on bringing those 4 songs in with another group of songs for a full album.
Since you were playing the Rooster Olympics,
Mm-hmm.
do you have your set list already planned out for that night?
We
Yes.
do.
Is it any of the older stuff?
21 Days.
Yeah, 21 Days. That's like the only one that's like in its original form. We're also playing Blinded and
Blinded, which is now called
Into the Deep.
Into the Deep, and Bear Creek, which is now called Origins.
Okay, so Blinded, is it the same lyrics or is it?
No, the
So you-
lyrics are completely changed, and the singing lines.
Yeah,
all the
melodies,
vocals,
lyrics, everything is
melodies,
completely
everything's
different.
been changed from that,
So it's just pretty much a totally different song.
pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
So if you're asking, the only old stuff is just 21 Days.
Yeah,
So-
21 Days is going to be in its original form.
which will be
Yes, and so we're actually recording that for the album. And when we get to that point, I'm going to rewrite the lyrics and melodies for that as well. But we're going to keep the original on Spotify and everything as well. But I'm just going to include it on the album.
So how does that? I mean, an outsider looking in, how does that work if you're keeping it on Spotify? What, like the streaming, like for streaming purposes, is that already copywritten or is that, what do you call it? How does that work? Like, is it?
copyright guy.
Yeah, I guess I'm the copyright guy. So basically, it would be considered. We're going to release it as a new song, and so. But if we were going to say 21 Days, like let's say that we re-recorded it, we could release that on Spotify, the exact same version, 2 versions of it, just different recordings. That's totally fine to do. So with this one, it is a little more unique because the music is going to be we're changing a lot with the music as well. So yeah, it's pretty much it's a new song, but it carries a lot of the heart of the original.
But
So
the lyrics are going to be different, but it's going to have the same melody, same bridge.
No.
No.
So it's a
Melody
totally
will-
different song. It's just not.
like a lot of the guitar parts and the drums are going to be similar, but even that, there's a lot of rewriting happening with that to make it.
So it's going to be. I mean,
So it's pretty much a different song. Yeah, pretty much.
And that's a better way to look at
Yeah.
it.
But different song, but same concept.
No,
Like
not
like lyric wise.
mm-mm. Nope.
No.
It's brand no. That's basic. So basically, I came in and there was a lot that went through. We were processing how we wanted to do things, and I think originally, we were doing a lot of the old songs, and a lot of the feedback we got was it sounds like we're a cover band. So we shifted gears, and so that's where a lot of this rewriting is coming from.
Yeah. And then,
Because it also is like it's oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, slowly we're going to be replacing those songs in the set list
Yep.
with new material, as we already have. There's
Yeah.
But I'm saying, at this point, what do you feel is your staple that like everybody wants to hear?
I'd say our biggest hit like songs right now that would be Divide. Divide and Please Stand By. Probably because it's already been released, people are already familiar with it. But yeah, so again, in a lot of ways, I mean, being fully transparent, because I mean, we're not trying to put on some kind of persona that is not real. We're just trying to be ourselves and move forward with this band the way it is. In a lot of ways, like we're resetting. We are resetting, and we're rebuilding that fan base, and we're rebuilding all of these different pieces. So yeah, it is a journey for us, and it is. There's a lot of the stuff from the previous iteration of the band, and we're honoring that, and we're stoked for that, and that's helped to develop the name that we do have, which for the band name Nova Omega, and so there is a piece that we are carrying over for sure, and also of course like the main primary songwriters Chris and JJ. But yeah, moving forward, we're like it is a lot of rebuilding. We have been in the trenches, I would say, and rebuilding and rebranding the band.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
No, I just figured to ask how that works because
Yeah.
I have no idea how the copyright thing or any of the other things on Spotify or Apple or wherever else you stream things from, how that works when it's already been out, and then
yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think it depends. So the nice thing is we have like the original copywriters. Obviously the lyrics are different. So when we go to copyright this song, we're going to be copyrighting this song with the original like music from the original writers, and then we're going to copyright this version of this song with also me and Chris is also a vocalist as well, with our new lyrics and our new melodies and everything like that.
Exactly.
So basically these new versions will be their own unique copywritten material.
okay.
All the fun semantics, man. This is the fun part of the music industry, isn't it? There's a lot of work that goes into this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of behind the scenes that people don't realize even running a podcast. But I'm just saying in general that they think, oh, you just plug in a mic and you talk your shit, but there isn't.
No, there's a lot of work. I totally agree on all the different fronts, all the different elements. I mean, even the people, even the photographers. Like, there's a lot of really awesome photographers in the scene. There's a lot of like you guys and like different media outlets. Like there's a lot of work that everyone's putting into the scene.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, photographers help a lot as well. So we gotta give a shout out to them.
Yeah,
I mean, that's part of what I do as well too when I'm at a show. But
well, picture's worth 1,000 words, they say. It's a very personal thing, especially because when you have those pictures, you know that they're gonna last, and you're gonna be able to look at that. Like we actually have a little picture thing right over there that has a bunch of our show stuff going through it, and it's always something that we
And that's
They
from
wanted
like
to.
that's from like the old pictures. Like that's everything. It's
Yeah,
just a
Old
slideshow.
picture, old
yeah.
pictures
So
until now.
Yeah.
yeah, we always are able to look at that and we remember almost all of it, and it's awesome to have that. You don't want to forget where you came from and what you've been doing and the people that you met along the way.
Do you still own your first guitar? Since you have like 4 behind you.
Actually, we have.
Okay, well,
So-
I'm stand corrected. Actually, I'm sitting, but I only saw the 4 at that moment. So
So, electric or any guitar, because I have multiple. I have a classical guitar that's upstairs. That is my first guitar that I've ever had. And then an electric guitar, and that's actually right here. This is my 7-string Ibanez RG Prestige RG 1527. This was actually my dad's guitar when his first guitar. He bought this directly from Ibanez, made in Japan. Um, he bought it directly from them, and when I was younger, um, he met someone who lived in Vegas. So who is his current wife, my stepmother Lynn, and he went to live there a little bit because her mother was sick and she needed to be around her, and he was trying to start a life with her, and so he wanted something to remind me of him. So he left me that guitar. And, for it's kind of a thing with us because for a couple of years he's like, "Oh, I'm going to get you an electric guitar." And then I'd be like, come around to that. He'd be like, next year I'll get you a nicer one. And then it became next year I'll get you a nicer one. And then he got me that. That is a very nice guitar. That is a probably right now worth well over 1,000. It is a very nice guitar that he loaned to me, and then he just ended up giving it to me after he came back. So it's a very personal thing to me, and every little ding, every little thing, I know exactly where it came from. He told me the stories about the dings that he played because he played shows with it when he was in his old band, and it's a very personal thing of mine for sure.
do you still have your first mic?
I do not. Um so I started off, this is really embarrassing, and I'm going to say it, I don't care. So I started off when I was like just out of high school recording music in my room, and I had this pop filter. You know what a pop filter is, I'm sure. It's to
Yeah.
protect the sibilants from hitting the mic. I didn't have one, and so I took a pair of my mom's like
The leggings.
leggings, and I took like a wire, like a hanger wire, bent it and put it around there, so I had my own like homemade pop filter.
So you use pantyhose.
Yes.
Yep.
So I had a pantyhose pop filter, and I had this mic that this is back when I was like, I saved up all my money and I bought, it was a Shure condenser microphone. I can't remember the exact model, but it was a nice microphone. I had that for years and years and years, and then I brought it all with me to Japan because I don't know, I just felt like it. And then there was a guy there. There was just an amazing, uh, like musician, and he was writing all these songs. Just a phenomenal guy that I met, and I just gave it to him. I gave him everything I had. And I said, you should record your songs. And so, yeah, so I don't have it all, I don't have it, but I do have some really nice equipment now. So it was all worth it.
You're like, I got the upgrade.
I got the upgrade.
I gave him the 14 Pro.
So with that being said, do you feel that, what do you call it, you have to have all the expensive gear to make it?
No, you don't. And that's the funny thing, because I've been on this journey for a long time. Like I started off, that's how I started off. And then I got to the point where I was in Thailand and I had my own full-blown recording studio with like everything, the isolated vocal booth, the desk, everything. And then I, long story short, lost it all because we, like, in the midst of COVID and everything, like we had to just transition my entire family back to the States.
Yeah.
And so I went from like small to like big, and now we're back to like medium.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in every stage, it's like it's all about just it doesn't matter. Like you can absolutely, like, we're at whatever stage you are, you can make music, and you can do, especially in this day and age, like
Easily.
like the opportunities, like, to record your own music have never been better.
Yeah, look at the guy who just recorded himself outside on a
And now it's
iPhone.
like, yeah, the country
Yeah,
country guy, that was a great song too.
yeah.
And he's like, how many millions of like streams? And that was, yeah.
There's actually quite a few people that I know of that they actually use their iPhones because the mics on them are pretty decent, and they actually use them to record their instruments and record everything, and it actually ends up sounding not that bad,
Yeah.
really. Like 20 years ago,
Oh yeah.
you had to have.
I mean,
something.
20 years ago, I mean, we didn't even have, well, maybe even the cameras on the phone were garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolute trash. If you had what 480i or 480, well 480p with the digital age, but yeah, isn't that like
Yeah.
or did you start with 260p, right? Isn't that like the lowest?
Yeah, 260, yeah, P. And then I remember when I first got the Razor, you remember the Razor flip phone?
Yes.
That, it was like, I was like, I've made it. I have a Razor.
What was that 480p?
And it was like, yeah, exactly.
Fucking like 1 megapixel.
I remember like the day when I first got the first iPhone, I was like, what is this? Like yeah, like the whole revolution in technology, it was just insane.
Yeah, I used to have I started out with like a Gillette Android that my dad had that had the like little slide out keyboard, which, by the way, they need to bring that back. I don't care what anybody says. Physical keyboards rule the day. Way better to type on. I don't mind the digital iPhone keyboard, but that when you had those flips, it's way better. I loved it. It was laid out just like a normal keyboard, so it was pretty freaking awesome. Then I had like a BlackBerry after that. I was banned from having
BlackBerry.
a smartphone.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, I wasn't allowed to have a smartphone after that. So I had to have a BlackBerry till I was like 15 years old, and then I got my first iPhone, my 6S that I used to have.
So before we wrap this up, do you have any messages for your fans?
I mean, I just think I know that we've been on a crazy journey as a band, and I'm so grateful for the fans who have just continued to follow us and stick with us through the ups and the downs and the the whatever and this and yeah, just know that we have a lot of big plans. There's a lot coming down the pike that we're really excited for, and we're doing this for you guys. And so, anything, Chris, you want to say?
Well, I would say that in 15 minutes or less, you can save 15% or more on your car insurance. That's definitely some really valid information I don't think most people are aware of.
I think everybody on the planet is aware of that.
I don't think so, man. I think if you did a poll, like maybe like 10%, might know.
10%.
Yeah, they might not know. especially
no,
these
yeah,
new
no,
kids.
10%.
Right?
Yeah, probably don't know. You're probably right.
Because now we're in the newer age. Maybe a lot of people don't have cable anymore, right? Like, isn't that weird? Like, no, a lot of people don't have cable anymore. I don't have cable. I haven't had cable since I was like 14 years old. Like, cable's like on the way out. Streaming completely took over. Blockbuster's no longer a thing.
There's still one.
There's one in Oregon, and I want to go there. But I can't really justify traveling across the country to go see a blockbuster.
So we just want to tell our fans, hey, go check out the last blockbuster on the planet. Is that
Yep.
is that what we're?
Yeah, go
is that
check
what
it
we're
out.
saying? Go check it out.
It's in Oregon. It's pretty awesome. You could probably rent the new Call of Duty, most likely, if you're about renting games. Back in those days, my family actually used to. My mom, my grandma, and my grandpa, they actually used to own a video store. They used to have their own video store, and that was the time. It's so weird to see that they're all gone
Yeah.
and Radio Shack is dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the good old days.
Yeah, Radio Shack. When you had some weird adapter you needed, it was always there.
Yeah. I'll also encourage everybody. Just hey, whether it's us or another local band you like, the likes on their social media, the comments, the shares and stuff like that, it really does help. It helps spread that band to other people. So just encourage you, like any local bands that you guys love, be kind of spreading the goodness and spreading the word.
For sure.
Yeah.
And where can you guys be followed?
You can be followed on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and our exclusively epic and sick online merch store. Pretty much all of that is going to be / Nova Omega Music. And the website's going to be novaomega.band. Not .com, novaomega.band.
And just to let you know, we have upped the social media game of now we're making shorts, and unfiltered is a new thing we got. And we've got a lot more social media stuff coming out. So
Yeah.
definitely be on the lookout for that.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you guys for your time. And once again, this is on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. It's just Concert Rob, because they would not let me finish what I was saying. And TikTok is just Robert M. Rosenthal. You'll see the link for this podcast. Do not forget to subscribe and share. Have a great night.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.